I will say I saw your Kansas City Royals beat my team a few years ago in the World Series, the Mets. So I still have a bitter taste in my mouth, but I think we're going to move the conversation along. Yeah. We have a few more points to get. We have about 20, 25 minutes. Yeah, I mean, so the next thing we want to jump in about is tips for preparing for the interview. Do you have any advice on sources of correct information you would take in with you, whether it's in your head or in your notes, in with you into the interview to make sure you're speaking as an expert?
Yeah, and that's a really, really good point because you don't want to find yourself behind the eight ball, especially if something's a little bit controversial. If it is a breaking news story and you get the call about an airline going bankrupt or any of those kinds of things, you don't want to speculate. You don't want to, you could give them information about what's happening in your agency in terms of re-protecting people and how valuable the service of a travel agent is to be there for their clients through thick and thin and good and bad. But if you've got to give hard facts, you can go to the ASTA.org site again. They often write white papers very quickly. They write press releases. You can forward that to the station manager or to the new producer, or you can make a copy for yourself and just use that as the basis of your thing. The other thing is really those newsletters. I thought of another really good that I get almost every year, two of them. One is what would the 12 days of Christmas cost today to get, whatever all those crazy things are. And it's usually about $25,000. But somebody will have written that in the press and you can take that over and get that number without trying to figure it out yourself. And I forget what the other one is, but those kinds of things are just open-ended and are real easy.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be a ton of opportunities for advisors in the next year to do this and to get some coverage because the pent up demand for travel is going to cause a lot of people to want to ask those same questions. So I guess my next point, I mean, when you're personally preparing for one of these interviews, do you bring in a set of talking points or a set of notes? You've obviously done it a lot at this point, but how much do you prepare when you're going in to do one of these interviews?
I know that a lot of people are panicking and do a lot of preparation and start to worry about that kind of thing and what could they ask.
Yeah.
What could they ask is the same thing what a client could ask. And you tap dance around what an appropriate answer is. But I carry at least 3, but no more than that, talking points with me that I carry on an index card and just set on the table in front of me, or I've been known to write them on my hand. And there's certainly the leading questions that you give the producer when they say, what would you like to talk about? And then they always say, is there anything we didn't cover that you'd like to talk about? And I usually say travel agents, your best friend in this day and age. It's somebody that's in your back pocket who can give you an unbiased opinion and can be there when things go wrong and who are you going to call kind of thing. Yeah. And certainly not the Travelocity gnome anymore. That doesn't work in the end. Can't reach those people, but you can reach a local travel agent.
So how long is the typical segment then? How long are you really there for, and how long are you on TV for at the finished product?
2 minutes, 3 minutes. 5 minutes would be an exception. If we start to gossip, it can be 7 minutes, but it's really just 2 or 3 minutes. And you watch if it's a slow news day, or one of the other tips that I give people, or I'm recommending, is that you turn on the morning show when you get up in the morning, and so you can see what the anchor's wearing. If they're wearing a plaid thing, maybe you don't want to wear a striped blouse. You don't want to wear black. You want to wear red or any other primary color, the royal blues. I wear oranges in the winter. I try to wear pink and green in the dead of winter because you want to keep people smiling. And also I've used the background that you can use on Zoom of being at the Caribbean, in the beach and the trees blowing in the wind, the palm trees. They love those kinds of things. They also love something called B-roll. And B-roll is the ancillary things that they cover. Like sometimes they open the story with a beach scene or a cruise scene and things like that. You can get that for them real easily online yourself, or the people who are in the control room can get that for you. Sometimes they'll want some brochures that you either drop off, or now everything can go online, so you can share those kind of things with them. And it really makes a difference. Also, if they come to your office to shoot, which is something from one of the assignment directors, and because there's something going on, hurricane in Cancun or something, they'll want to shoot the front door. They'll maybe want to shoot your brochure racks. They will want to maybe shoot some of the other agents in your office that have that they're over their shoulder at the screen. You have to be sure every agent in your office is cool with that, because I have had people say, don't want to do that. Easy to eliminate them when you're walking around, but you wouldn't want to do it otherwise. They'll come over your shoulder, and you have to, and you know, with you with the glasses on, working on the computer, or those kinds of things. So you do have to pre-plan. And I shared another thing with you that is just completely off the wall, but very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
You go to all the work of making this pitch, whether you're the boss in an agency, the social media person, or the person who just has the moxie to go ahead and do this, because lots of us in the travel agency business have been theater majors and things like that. So we have some talent. But if you whoever you are, the person that does it, you need to have a backup in the office. Somebody that you know will take the business if you're on vacation, if you're not there yet early in the morning, because they're calling right at the crack of 9 o'clock because of the story and they want to get it on the new news or even the 4 or 5 news. Then you have to have somebody, because in more than one occasion over my years in the business, they've called to ask for me at the front desk of the office. They'll say she's not there. And they always are generous to say, is there anybody else we could talk to? And, you know, the receptionist or someone will yell, anybody want to talk to the media? And everybody goes, not me, not me, not me. The worst thing that could happen, you as a source go out of their Rolodex and down to the bottom. You have to have somebody who'll be there as a backup for you, even if it's your best friend at another agency who you know can handle it. But you could lose the business if they're better than you are. That's why you wouldn't lose it if it was your agency. But you know, they're always looking for somebody new to break things up. But also there is terrific value in them going back to their travel agent, because travel's on our mind again. Let's go check in with Kathy and see what's new. So it's a crazy composure of our composite of all of those kinds of things. And I really invite you to have a backup, because it'll just bite you in the fanny if you don't.